Hi there, it's Lori, and my story is I cannot remember my story. It was like really funny, and I woke up and I'm like, that's the story I need to record. It's gone out of my head. It's because I have too many stories in my life. If I think of it, I'll add it here. It's really bugging me that I can't remember. Okay, I'll tell you this story. You all see that I wear glasses. When I worked at the school, the high school, we have what would be considered college entrance exams. They're like a way to sort standardized tests, okay? But they're not just standardized tests for state and federal requirements. They're standardized tests in order to qualify to go to university or college. So if you were doing one of the college ones and not just for federal and state requirements, then you came on Saturday and you took a test. Well, I lived at that time 15 minutes away from the high school, and it was Saturday morning, and I had signed up to be a proctor, is what they're called. You know, it kind of feels more like proctologist because, you know, you're giving people these really challenging tests. Just kidding. Anyway, I signed up to be a test proctor because it was like $100, and I was like, okay, I can give up a couple hours on Saturday morning. Well, my alarm didn't go off. So I wake up in a panic. I look at the time, and I still got there in plenty of time. But remember, I'm about a 15-minute drive from the school where I was living at. I'm about halfway to school. Remember, I'm running late. Turns out I wasn't running late. They told me the wrong time by about a half an hour. But either way, I thought I was late. I get about halfway there and I'm like, my goodness, why can't I see? I did not put my glasses on. Now, at that particular time in my life, for whatever reason, it was not on my driver's license that I had to wear glasses. It should have been. But I saw well enough to survive it. This was well before I was married to my husband, so my kids were too young. They were little, like not little, but little enough. They couldn't, come. They were with their dad anyway. They couldn't bring me my glasses. So I just had to tough it out. So yeah. Because I was too far to turn around, get them, and go back. Now, had I remembered when I got in the car, or had I pulled out of the condominium complex, hopefully that didn't sound like a certain product. Anyway, yeah, so I did that. I was safe. I was driving the speed limit because I was like, I'm not taking any chances. But yeah, there you go. Is it just me, or my eyes looking? Oh, they're looking brown at a distance, but I don't know. What color do you think my eyes are? All right. I know that wasn't necessarily helpful. All right. My Monday yarn management has shifted to two different things. Number one, using the yarn I have. Number two, going through and gifting yarn that I know I'm very unlikely to use. And number three, organizing the yarn I have from another yarn, Shannon. I'm going to talk about some accomplishments I had. I'm just going to show this. You'll learn more about this tomorrow. This orange right here is all, like, there is none left. The orange tail was enough to sew it like this to give it ridges. You'll learn more about this tomorrow. Okay, and we're going to get lots of flyovers. So, just sorry. So if you didn't hear that, I used this entire scrap. Now, I've used this orange. This is not from Shannon, and this is just my stash. I've used this orange on 3 or 4 different items. The beauty of amigurumi. I have used most of this scrap from another yarn, Shannon. I have, where is it? Because it's tiny. I am using this yarn. Oh, there it is. This scrap, used to make that. That's all I have left of it. So that's the kind of scrap that ends up going in, unless I use it as the pupils, but still, that's not going to take very much. This scrap will go in my amigurumi stuffing scrap. So I have used, this was nearly a whole ball or skein or whatever of very fat yarn. All right. And then I'm using this for the second time. I use this on the F-Bomb for Fiber Floozy gel too. All right. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that. I still have a lot of scraps to put away, and I have things to put away, as I have actually put away many balls of yarn as soon as I complete projects. So I'll be adding to this after Sunday night's live, because there will be more yarn management things to talk about then. But that's a new angle on my yarn management. Use the yarn I have, use scraps, and gift yarn that I'm not going to use, and organize yarn that is that has been gifted to me or I've purchased. I haven't purchased. When was the last time I purchased yarn? This? I still need to ask all of you about the Happy Bear. The color, I think the green Luck of the Irish one wins. That's not what it's called, but the Good Luck Bear, I think, is what it's called. Sorry about that. All right, and crochet all day. Thanks for coming in. Can I get an amen? Hugs to you all, but this isn't really the end, so I'm probably going to cut that out. Sorry. Okay, we're going to see what I have to deal with after Sunday night's live. Okay. I have nothing to add to my Monday yarn management. You know why? Because I didn't crochet a darn thing in my Sunday night live. Nope. I sure didn't. But my Tackle It Tuesday will have more to do. And I did show this. Yeah, that's all the bobbins. This is only 74 stitches. And this is the bobbins for the color work. The things I do for my children. That's the back panel of a cardigan. But I'm using my stash. I had used this once, and I still have like 3 balls of this. I'm using it in this chicken, along with, I wanted it fatter. Shoot, where's the... I've got a mess going on over here. Here it is. That's the last. This was most of a full ball. And I would have used this as stuffing in here, except I didn't know how much it was going to take to sew this up. And I didn't know if I was going to need more for any of the other details. So I have the eyes ready. Possibly by Tuesday. This will be on Tackle It Tuesday. Possibly this will be done. It still needs its beak and its comb. And yes, they're crazy eyes, but that's for the fun of it. All right. So that's using my stash. I'm using this. This has been in my stash because I ended up using a different yarn for my ants. This is not my ants. This is someone else's. Only used a 14 millimeter on that. But my whole point here is I've gifted a whole bunch of yarn. I have a whole bag over there. I need to get that packaged up and sent off to someone who's in need. If you want to help somebody in the yarny community who has been through a rough time, contact me via my email and let me know, and I will fill you in on details. But they kind of lost everything in a storage unit fire. So if you're interested in helping them out, email me and I'll give you details. So thank you, Crafting Kitty. Again, very different yarn management. I have a lot of yarn on this table that needs to be put away. But again, I have worked through this entire ball. Now I've worked through half of one of these balls. Skeins, I guess. Skeins. I don't know what the right saying. This is about half of this skein. I'll tell you what. Doing a 14 millimeter versus a 25 millimeter Wow. Really showed me how much faster this was. But this yarn is too thin, in my opinion, to have used the 25. Plus I did a lot more rows, so you can see a lot more colors. Oh, I'll do what I did during the live, so you can see how pretty the actual colors are. Oh, that's the seam here. Yeah, so you can actually see those colors. All right. Yarn management. Again, very different, not organizing my yarn, but sending people yarn from another yarn for the most part. Not entirely, but a lot of it. And then using my scraps. I used this scrap in my Talcott Tuesday project. This was from another yarn. It was a scrap from her, so I don't know. I'm gonna bet that was labeled a bulky 5, but that's really a thick 4 weight in my opinion. Yeah, I'm using this. This was from another yarn, scraps, and it was perfect for my Tuesday project that you're gonna see. And that's it. Okay. Thanks for coming in. Can I get an amen? And hugs to you all. I'm going to make sure it actually says that. Hugs to you all. Hugs to you all. Because it keeps cutting it off, making me sad. Anyway, hugs.